Go
No,
ahead.
it's something that
I can body cam. I just pull up the chart real quick.
No, I got
no, I
body
can
cam.
body
No.
cam.
All
I can
right,
body
so
cam, but if during the body cam some noise jumped in, don't worry about
no, I got it. All right, well, today's the 25th of 2025. April. We're having a meeting for all our hats. So we're doing pretty great. As a team. Not really much to say. Just a few things I must say is well, the activity of hard hats haven't really been active 24/7. I mean, we're not asking y'all to devote your lifetime to the game 24/7, but we need minimum coverage within the whole game hour periods. Only like 1 hour, 2 hours, minimum is 2 hours, but and then a few others are close to get their gen interviews. For rank 8s, your ranks and responsibilities, fulfill them, and you should be checking ranks 4 macros to perform, to the fullest, because you know that's a requirement for you to get your own rank up. Another thing, I've noticed that a few hard hats I have not fully understand the concepts of you know being a mentor. Some people just take a little bit of power and just use that to command people when you gotta really talk to them and show appreciation. And you gotta learn your base rules as well, because it's a very crucial for everybody as well. Because how you gonna teach somebody something if you guys are breaking it as well? Any questions or concerns?
No, sir.
No. No.
Mr. Lastina, any questions? Mr. Live?
No, not at the moment.
But other than that, I mean, I don't really gotta revise more things to y'all, because you already know what's expected and what we expect all hard has to perform. I mean, there are gonna be a few changes for raid as well. So we'll touch base into that more. Especially for this raid. But other than that, I mean, it isn't really much. Oh, one thing before I forget, Discord. Discord is a very important and crucial role for hard hats. You gotta know how to submit a time off. You gotta know how to submit any other submission required in Discord. You gotta know the proper formats. I'm not gonna put anybody on blast, but it's it's knowledge that you have to learn. Throughout your path as well. I mean, if you expect to become a general, you're gonna have a lot of paperwork on Discord. If you don't know how to, we are here to help you. And okay, so about Discord, so a few of you know that there's a new Discord. It's a faction Discord. If you haven't really been added to it, or you haven't gotten a link, don't mind. Send me a DM on my Discord. That's my Discord. Send me a text, add me. I'll send you the link, and I'll send you the proper format of how you should be, submitting your application, your role setup into the Discord to get approved. And then once it's approved, properly get your you'll be inside the Discord, and you can start, doing your time offs and submitting pictures for raids and trainees and all that type of things. Oh, but trainings, before I forget trainings. I mean, I expect you guys to have a little bit more patience as well, because I've noticed, a few of you, no, not all of you, but the majority, have not really had patience toward the soft hats. I mean, when you were there at one time, you were a soft hat, and you really didn't have you never really had any, was how you call it, any you had complications as well as a soft hat. The things you learn throughout the your path as a hard hat. I mean, we should recite that towards your soft hats as well, the knowledge. So we don't, you make your job easier, you make our job easier. I mean, we're a family. But other than that, I don't think we really got anything else. You got something, Mr. J?
Nope, I do not.
Yes, Mr. Drummond.
Not to put somebody on blast, but what if somebody's the same rank and just power tripping? And I hate to be like that, but what if somebody's power tripping and just kind of doing everything just to give laps and attitude and all that kind of thing?
That's power
Can
gaming. Record it, send it to us.
True. I mean,
Pretty
it
sure
depends
y'all
as
know what I'm
well.
talking about.
It depends. I mean, if he's correcting you, well, not really you, but if it depends. It varies. It cannot really be power gaming. But you gotta give me an example to give you a proper answer for that. Yes, Mr. Ghost.
Okay, are we talking about power gaming like 5M power gaming or power gaming one state power gaming?
I
Because in
mean,
5M power gaming, like in role play, like actual 5M role play, power gaming is where you do things inside the game that you can't do out, like you normally a human being cannot do outside. For example, jumping off a cliff, going into terrain with like a car that doesn't have the right tires, um, you know, taking your car and jumping off a cliff with it and stuff like that.
No,
I
not
think
like
it's
that.
called one
So,
state
a
because
one state power game is basically just abusing your power.
it's like okay. How to explain? I'll give you an example. It's like Mrs. Candace or me, telling Mr. Ghost go do something, go to Southgate, but I tell you in a rude tone, and I don't tell you please, and I tell you like I treat you like not a human being, and I'm just treating you as a tool, and exerting my power to the fullest, and not giving that respect, and asking you what proper manners. That's power gaming.
Except for
Yeah, that's what we mean power gaming. I mean, you watch your tone, how you say things, how you phrase things, how you conduct yourself, because everybody else is different. I understand that part. I mean, for example, Mr. Rum could have a way of saying things. I have a way of saying things, and sometimes Mr. Rum could feel like I probably power game, but maybe that's how I talk. And I mean, it's communication as well, but at the same time, you gotta have that balance. It's not we're role playing as soldiers, and we gotta conduct ourselves as professional as we can, as soldiers.
so what's metagaming in one state? Because it is a
Metagaming?
different thing. Actual role play.
Oh yeah,
'cause, like,
metagame is completely different. That's using
Okay,
outside
metagaming.
knowledge to basically advance. You're like, yeah,
Alrighty.
you're good.
I'm gonna explain.
Metagaming in like, okay, I'm explaining to you what role play metagaming is in 5M. So like metagaming in 5M is like when you take something from Discord, something from the outside, and bring it inside the game, right? So say for
Yeah.
example you're plotting a role play, right? And say you're beefing with somebody, or a person says something in Discord, and then they go ahead and say it to somebody on Discord, and then act like they know it inside the game when it hasn't played out as a role play inside the game. It's just information from Discord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something similar, But power gaming, I mean, metagaming for us, it's something exactly the same, but you know it varies as well. There's a lot of situations or scenarios you could have to be considered metagaming. Like for example, you have a alt account, a game member account, and you come to base, let's say for example, and you test the gates and you start shooting people and you start calling people by their names, and etc etc. That's metagaming, first of all, because you don't work as your in-game character, as a game member, your alt account. You don't work here. You don't have any control over the base, first of all. Second of all, you don't even know the names of the superiors because you don't work here. As first, you don't work here. You don't you have no knowledge of the base at all. You know,
Right.
and you can't use that knowledge that you have in your military account to use it to your gang member account. That's metagaming,
Right. Right.
and that could be a bannable offense for both account, a permanent ban.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah, sort of the same thing. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I should know? Like, okay, I don't know if you guys. Okay, so what I'm really down with, like I said, I'm down with whatever you guys need me to do. If you guys need me, like if I'm ready to get ranked up or whatnot, if you guys need me as a general, then yeah, I can go ahead and be a general. But if you guys need me on a Delta team, I can stay a hard hat. It doesn't really matter. But in case there is a chance that I am gonna become a general, is there any type of you know how when you became a hard hat, they give you a test and like, hey, this is what you got to learn, this, that, and the third. Is there any general things that you have to learn as a hard hat in order to become one?
All right, to become a general, a 1 star, you have to you have to have knowledge of the army rules, memorize all of them. I'm not saying all of them, all 10, but the majority of them. At least minimum, you should know at least 8 from all 10. You know, and what's it called? Perform your duties in Discord. Be in all teams, and show your work ethics as well. And then once you become a general, becoming a general is not going to be doing your hard hat's duties no more. You're going to be in a supervisor role, meaning you're going to have to, it's a bit more relaxing, based on, base operations, but you're going to be doing a bit more paperwork on Discord, handling complaints. If a hard hat comes to you with body cam and tells you this and this soldier committed this, he broke this army rule, so you're gonna have to revise a body cam. You look at it, you make your own summary, you send it up to your superiors, and then from there on out, they will handle that, incident. That's what general does. From a rank 5 and 8, that's more base activities. You participate in all the teams and all, and Delta as well, because that's your ranks and responsibilities. Once you reach that rank 9, you're more like a supervisor. You're more relaxed, but at the same time more paperwork instead of in-game gameplay the majority of the time.
Simple. So the generals, can there be like a team captain or a team leader in the Delta team as a general?
For now, no, because it's suspended because our generals weren't able to maintain base security. Maintain the base. All gates covered. Meanwhile, Delta rolled out.
Yeah.
We had that issue, and
Yeah,
that's
I
how
remember
it
going
was.
through that.
Yeah, that's why they took all the generals from away from Delta team, because they were wanted to go to the city and go try to kill people. I mean, that's what we do, but that's what all the generals messed up on. So that being said, no more generals for the time being until our FG approves more generals into Delta again. But other than that, as a 1 star, your job is to be more as a supervisor and paperwork pusher than more of base activities.
Simple. All right, gotcha. Like,
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Feel free to ask now before you forget, so I can answer them on the spot.
More of a comment, really, but Ghost, do not tease me. In a bit here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't really gotta revise anything else. You already know not to tase at gates, because we could get in trouble. I mean, if any 1v1s or tasing battles, do that at HP. Just make sure that the soft hats are doing their job correctly. And if you see a hard hat not performing the duties, and you're a higher ranking than them, feel free to do a friendly reminder, not expose them or power game over them. At the end of the day, we all here as a family and as a team to help each other out. Yes, mister.
One thing I noticed, and I've talked to Marlon and Dean about it, but there's some soft hats and even hard hats that really don't know how to use like frag chat, Flobby. They don't know. They haven't gotten a base tour, so they get lost everywhere they go. Is there a way we could spend like an hour or so a day, during different times of the day, where we could teach them this stuff? Because mean, that's kind of a general thing, isn't it, when they come in?
Okay, so for base tours and all that, it's not really a generals thing. It's more of a hard hat thing because you're supposed to be keeping all the soft hats in check and maintaining the base productivity on point. So the only thing a general could do for you is give you permission to drop on base and you show the other person what's what and explain to him. That's the most you could do. If the hard are not online, then the generals will jump in and assist you. But other than that, it's more of a hard hat's ranks and responsibilities. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it could vary. Not really a general knowledge. It's a yeah. Well, you're right. It's just general knowledge. That everybody should know words HQ, RT, sandbags, etc., etc. I mean, it's something that you would teach them, and if they can't understand or if you feel them, that knowledge as well, then there should be an issue out there.
Like, I was giving one guy laps earlier cause in the first raid this morning, he kind of used the mic, and then he also kind of ran off, didn't come back. And then he did it in another raid. I let the first one go, he's new. The second one, he did the same thing, and I told him to stop using the mic because he kept saying yo, 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 like 100 times. And finally I said, get off the mic, dude, we're not supposed to be on him. And so anyway, I gave him laps, but I couldn't get a hold of him, and then I finally did. And it was just a big miscommunication. Like, he didn't know how to use frag chat. He didn't know how to do the laps, and I walked him through it. And like, I don't know. He just kind of was being ignorant.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're new, whoever was training them doing macros should be teaching them how to properly do that. But we're here to assist other people as well. And for let me see, for watches, no. You could do watches any time of the day, no matter what, as long as the base is secure, as all the gates. There are 4 gates in total, as long as there's 2 people minimum at gate, there you could be doing watches, limit of watches is 10, But we've been lenient on it, and we're allowing people to do more than 10, but you gotta rotate. Let's say for example, Mr. Ghost did his 10 watches. He will go, cover Southgate, and then Braven will, go do his watches. Once he's done with his watches, and Ghost wants to do more watches, then they'll switch out, and like that, you could do unlimited watches. Meanwhile, you keep the base secure all the time. If we're low on numbers, we'll be usually on DEFCON 3. Meaning everybody in mid, protect HQ and RT, and not really much to say on that. You already know what to do. When watches are permitted at those time as well. 1v1s are permitted as well. For watches, not really. I say it. There's not really a limit for watches. As long as you watch that there's no intruders in here coming in, and you alert everybody else, and there shouldn't be really a problem with watches, especially if we're in DEFCON 3. Any other questions? Feel free to ask right now. Well, any other questions before I end the meeting? Alrighty, 10-4, I'm ID right now. Mr. Draymond, Mr. Riggs, no other questions?
No, sir.
Alright, let's salute and give me a 10-4 in the chat that you already understand what we revise today, so we don't have any type of confusions. Alrighty, y'all dismissed. Let's go guard gates. Thank you for attending the meeting.